Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Titan del 86. Here you will find everything from your favorite characters, from anime, series or movies, such as figures, statues, trading cards, and other limited special edition items. I will show you everything that is included. For example, we will discuss the design of the box, how it's packaged, the design of the figure, the articulation points, the accessories that are included, and we will see our favorite characters in special scenes. And you never know, you might see other characters make special guest appearances, so you can decide whether it's worth getting or not. Subscribe and join me on new weekly adventures. Now let's start the show. Let's go. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. My name is Titan del 86 and today from S.H.Figuarts and Spider-Man, I present to you Peter Parker and Mayday as portrayed in the movie Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This was a Tamashii Nations exclusive release, that's why it's in the brown box. On this one, we finally get the figure of Peter Parker that was introduced in the movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. On this one, it's packaged in a large box, but it's also very flat. So it will probably have a similar packaging style that was done on Spider-Man 2099, where the figure was mostly laid out with the accessories on the side. Looking at the front of the box, on the side you have the animation of how they were portrayed in the movie. Through the window you can see the figure of Spider-Man and the two head accessories that come for Peter Parker along with his daughter. On this one, we get a more concluding story of what happened to Peter after the ending of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. In that one, he was a little bit more depressed, but in this one, he was more happy, where he was able to go back to his own timeline and started cleaning up his life to the point where he got back with MJ. And on this one, he comes with a nice surprise of the introduction of his daughter. The figure is packaged under one giant blister pack. So here you have everything. The 3 different web types, 4 different sets of wrists, then you have 2 sets of bare hands. Then he also comes with an extra set of legs to show when he's wearing the robe. And I think that's the biggest thing about this figure, is out of his whole character is him wearing the bathing robe. And you can't forget about little Mayday, which comes with 2 expressions, and you can see the accessories that come for the baby carrier. So overall, we are given some accessories, and obviously the point of this figure is not for him to be in action poses as much as he is more of a dad. Here's a pass of the instructions, where the first section shows you all the different wrist styles that are included with the figure. Then it shows you how to swap them out to attach the different web shots, how to swap out the heads of both baby May and Peter, then how to swap out the legs and the wrists, and it also includes the dimensional bracelet. On the back side, it shows you how to attach the bathing robe, the baby carrier, and how to assemble it to have baby May inside the carrier. And here's the 360 of Peter Parker as Spider-Man. One thing to note, the figure is very tall than I was expecting. The other thing is the spider suit is very detailed. As you can see, it's got really strong textures. Hopefully the light reflection can show you that. As far as the articulation points, I don't see any special cuts. To me, it seems like it's got the regular standard S.H.Figuarts techniques being applied here. So you do see a little bit of a shoulder extension mechanism, and you also see how the section by the waist is cut. So hopefully that will help in giving those iconic Spider-Man poses. As far as balancing the figure so far, it seems very easy, even though it doesn't seem like he's got a giant footprint. So hopefully with some of the poses we can balance him out. The other thing is he follows the standard character design that was done in the movie, where the characters were drawn to be very tall and slim fit, as you see here. Taking that in comparison with all the other Spider-Man figures that are part of this movie franchise. For example, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2099, Scarlet Spider, and Spider-Gwen. And this is the only Spider-Man expression that you're gonna get, which ties back to how Peter was portrayed in the whole entire Spider-Man movies, where he's not really often shown wearing the full Spider-Man suit. He is more towards just being a dad. Now let's check out the articulations that this Spider-Man has. Not so much of the head itself, but you do get some nice rotations coming from the neck, which in combination does help the figure, as you can see. So you get a nice 360 just from the neck alone. And the head portion kind of helps complement that. giving you a good range of motion when both sections are combined together, but individually you don't really get much from the head. So with that in mind, this is as low as you can see, but this is as high as he goes, which is really good. And this is something that I haven't seen done in other Spider-Man figures, and this is something that very few S.H.Figuarts offer. This is as high as the shoulders go. You get a nice 360 of the arm. Here's your shoulder movement from that extension piece. This is as far as he can cross the arms, which is not as much as I was hoping for. Honestly, for those of you that watched my video of the symbiote Spider-Man from Revoltech, to me that figure is one of the best at doing cross arms. Then this is as far back as they go, so not a whole lot there. You do get 360 of the bicep. Here's the elbow. Comes with two sections, so this is the first one and then this is the second one. So combine it, you almost get a 35-degree angle there. For the wrist, you get a nice 360, good up and down. This is the chest movement, which is really good. There's no extension or anything. Then this is the second movement that comes from the waist. So with that, this is as far as he can bend over, and this is as far as he can bend in the opposite way. He does have good side-to-side motion. I'm not really getting any rotation, but you do get some between the upper abdominals and the lower piece of the chest. Which I'm surprised because he's got a third section here. So I'm surprised he's not able to have torsional rotation. This is as high as the leg goes. This is as far back as the leg goes, so it's really good in the back position, which is similar to the front position. You don't really get a good 360 out of it though. And that is because the whole crotch is divided into two different segments. You have the one that kind of looks like the thong shape. Then you have the bottom piece that completes the rest of the section there, which we've seen this technique used in other S.H.Figuarts figures. This is the split. He does have thigh rotation. This as far as the knee goes. And it comes with two sections. So you have the first one followed by the second one, giving you the full range of motion. Then for the ankles, this is as far as they go. This is as high. You can get 360 out of it. And you can get inboard and outboard. So that's really good. And then there are the toes. Articulation wise is the typical that you see from an S.H.Figuarts, which is the same as we have seen from this whole Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse movie franchise. So this one follows the same formula. Now let's look at what articulations you get from Mayday Parker. So you get 360 from the head. You also get some neck movement. So this is as low as you can see. This is as high. You get some side-to-side action. But here's the interesting part. If you see this, they're not round, they're actually just squares. And same thing for the legs, which upon further evaluation, you can't even change the angle positions of the arms or the legs. As you see, they're keyed. So you could force it because it's a soft plastic into the other different positions, but then the cut lines are not gonna match. As you see here. It looks fine all the way until you get to the front. So that is a big miss on this particular figure. I was actually expecting them to use the same technique that they did on Dragon Ball Daima for those mini figures. If you recall my videos from Mini Vegeta, Mini Goku, and Mini Piccolo. So we know that S.H.Figuarts knows how to do it. They just chose not to do it on this particular figure. But they did give you torsional rotation, which obviously you're not going to be able to do much with it. So articulation points on Mayday are not that good. The entire figure set includes 5 expressions altogether. So you get 2 for Mayday and 2 for Peter Parker without the mask, and you get 1 with the mask. The first expression is Mayday with her crochet Spider-Man beanie hat, where her expression is full of joy. Then you have her without her beanie, which kind of shows the worrisome expression. Towards the center, you have the Spider-Man mask and the neutral expression. Then you have Peter Parker's talkative expression. You see somewhat of a smile, and it's just showing him in conversation. Then the last one is somewhat of a sad, worrisome expression. where I think this one shows more of the scene when they broke the news to Miles Morales, where every Spider-Man loses a family member. So overall, both figures have a good array of expressions, which would allow you to replicate any one of the scenes from the movies. For this scene, I have Peter in his full Spider-Man outfit using the long web shot. This is the scene where he is about to leave the scene. For this one, I decided to show him in this more dynamic pose just to show every joint in its maximum condition, trying to get him into one of his classic Spider-Man poses. I was surprised that I was able to move the legs in that particular direction. The one thing that I did find difficult was finding a good balance, so that's why I drew the other arm to act as a third hand feature. The other thing is the way that they do these webs. They always go around the wrist like a ring. So depending on the angle, it's going to have an offset. So if you're careful and try to balance it, you can get it to actually show it accurate of how it shoots out from the wrist. For this Spider-Man, it's the same thing across all the other ones from the animated movie series. You get two different lengths for the web. You get a short one and the long one. This is the long version that I'm showing you. It also comes with one that shows for swinging. So these are the same standard accessories that you get with every one of these Spider-Man figures that are part of this animated Spider-Verse. It would have been nice if we would have gotten more different web styles other than these three generic ones, just to give the figure more dynamic poses and more action scenes. But again, for this particular Spider-Man, you gotta think about the main theme of them, and the main theme of them is fatherhood. So that's why you're only given this one particular mask, which is a neutral one, just in case you really want to pose them in the full Spider-Man outfit. But the main goal of this figure is to display him as a dad, not as a fighter. For this scene, I have Peter with the talkative expression and Mayday with the joyful one. For this one, she has the crotchet Spider-Man beanie. I gave Peter the bathrobe that is really nice. Touching it, you can feel that S.H.Figuarts used the actual material that is used for bathing robes. It has a wire that goes around the perimeter that allows you to articulate it to show different poses with different scenes to mimic how the fabric would move. Putting it on the figure is very easy. It didn't get caught or anything. I know on some of these figures, when they provide these types of accessories that are made out of fabric, they tend to limit their articulating points, and sometimes they're very tight fitting to the point where they don't really help the figure, they bind it. An example of that would be the Bossmod Demon Slayer figures. And finally, he's got the baby carrier. The baby carrier is made out of soft plastic. It comes in three different sections. You have the section that goes for the shoulder straps. That one's got 4 push pins that attach to the back of the carrier, and you have one that goes around the waist for the bottom piece, which also attaches to the carrier. Attaching it to the figure was very easy. Then what you need to do for Mayday is attach the head that you want to use. Sadly enough, you gotta take away the legs and the arms from the actual figure and attach them to the carrier. The legs went a lot easier than the arms. For the arms, because they come at an angle, they were a little bit of a struggle, but the thing to keep in mind is that they're keyed. And that is something that, again, for this figure is the only downfall that I see. They should have given Mayday ball joints like they have done on S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima. Hopefully you notice on the sandals that he's wearing, it says cool dad, which basically tells you the whole theme of the figure. Here's what the peg looks like when you're changing the legs. Both of them are keyed and it's also labeled, so you know which one's left and which one's right. As far as articulating points on the new legs, they're basically the same. It's got the same joints and everything.
I knew I was going to regret making her that web shooter. I shouldn't have done it. That's an actual mistake.
For this scene, I have Peter looking at Mayday, just caught in deep thought. He has the soft, worrisome expression, and Mayday has the innocent expression that's also somewhat of a worrisome, which is just full with curiosity. And this is where the figure truly hits home. It captures the whole Peter Parker storyline. And what I mean by that is, usually in all the Spider-Mans, they just don't have a happy ending. They always seem to be fighting and losing loved ones. For example, if you take Tobey Maguire's trilogy, he was never happy in either one of those. He was always struggling between being Spider-Man and also being Peter, to the point that cost him his relationship with Mary J. Then you have Andrew Garfield from The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. In that one, it took an even darker turn where he lost Gwen. Then you are followed by the Marvel version of Tom Holland, where in this one he's also trying to figure out what he wants to do, being a superhero, and at the same time trying to have a normal life. Somewhat it works out, but also at the end towards Far From Home and No Way Home, you can see the struggle internally where he really doesn't want to be the character Spider-Man. He just wants to be Peter and just be done with it and live his own personal life, even to the point where he actually makes the ultimate choice in No Way Home, just because he is trying to do the right thing. And again with this one from the animated Spider-Verse, where he's no longer a young man, now he's more towards the middle age, where the character is portrayed as sad and lonely when you're introduced to him into the Spider-Verse. But when he sees Miles Morales, you can kind of see that he starts to interact with them, and you can see where he shares some of his knowledge and past experiences from what he faced in his universe. Then we get into Across the Spider-Verse, where he's no longer a bum and he's actually happy. He got with MJ, and now he has a daughter named Mayday, and it shows the very happy side of him as he is introduced into fatherhood. Which out of all the Spider-Man variants that we've seen of Peter, I think this one is the one that actually managed to come 180 and turned around his life. While still being Spider-Man, he is also able to balance his life to keep his relationship with MJ, and now he's more focused to being a dad. And it gives you a really good positive vibe of how he was first introduced in the first movie to how his character transitions into the second movie, which is something that the other Spider-Man variants haven't done, from Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Andrew's, and Tobey's as examples. And that is something that this figure really captures. This figure is not really to show the Spider-Man character as a fighter. This one is more to show the Spider-Man more into Peter as a dad. And Mayday encompasses the whole figure overall. But again, you have the new Spider-Man movie coming out for Tom Holland. So let's see what happens in that one. Maybe it turns out for the best for him as well. So for this one, it really captures the main theme, and you can see the accessories and everything that pushes you towards that character arc of him just embracing fatherhood. This is all I have for you today. If you like what you have seen, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and I'll see you next week with a brand new one. Thank you and bye.